Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a
Bumpy ride.
All you geeks and gamers better stop jerking off to me.
Who cares?
I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl.
No, 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 no.
Press F if you're not jerking off. I'm not hot to you.
No. No.
No, no, no.
Wow. People keep confusing me for prepubescent Justin Bieber. Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. Frostbitten.
Get him.
You know, I surprisingly took a lot of flack for agreeing to do this interview with peers of mine, people whose content I enjoy daily, people I respect, using phrases like, he shouldn't be platforming her, bizarrely, sounding like run-of-the-mill SJW takes, other people saying that it was worthless and it wasn't going to do anything. I think these positions are obviously flawed, and we make fun of, you know, the people on, you know, the far left for refusing to talk to us, and to hear it coming from my own side, so to speak, was really disheartening. I have been talking with Froskurrin's management team for, I don't know, 2 weeks now. And after all the cringe drama with certain people, I had basically lost any interest in actually conducting this interview. Really, the main reason was it was old news. What was this, a month ago now? Who even cares? I suspect this video won't perform nearly as good as my other videos today because people are over it. But the bizarre yet also so predictable ending of this is something I wanted to share with all of you right after a quick word from this video's sponsor. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Kamikoto. That's right, Kamikoto makes Japanese steel kitchen knives using traditional techniques from Japan. Over 800 years of Japanese technology and expertise have gone into creating the steel that this knife has been meticulously handcrafted from, using techniques that date all the way back to the Edo period of Japan. Kamikoto only uses steel sourced from mills in Japan. Each knife comes in a beautiful, heavy-duty wood box. It makes sure that the knife is stored safely. Each knife is individually inspected and comes with a lifetime guarantee. These are knives that I personally own and use. I got a set through this promotion. Over Christmas, I used it to cut a beautiful brisket that I had made for the holidays, and cut ham and turkey and all sorts of things. Not only did it work flawlessly, but it was a talking point at the table. The knives felt like the perfect weight. They were perfectly balanced. And on top of all of this, Kamikoto is currently having a massive Valentine's Day sale. Just for you guys, on top of the sale, you can get an additional $50 off any purchase you make with the discount code TheQuartering. So click the link below or go to kamikoto.com/thequartering and use promo code TheQuartering to save an extra $50 today. Valentine's Day is coming around. Gift for someone you love, or for yourself, quite frankly. Now, I want to point out that I think that having an absolute opinion on things, an opinion where you're saying like, unless the other side is going to totally bend the knee and agree with me and repent their sins, is that's the only reason it's worth talking to them. That's from a lot of the position that a few people held. I think that that's foolish, of course, short-sighted also. But you also have the situation where you just look weak if you're not willing to talk to. You can't make 20 videos about somebody and then ignore their willingness to speak. That's like some weak tit stuff. So it was a conversation I was looking forward to having, but as the days went on, as things went on, I became less and less confident that it would have happened, that it had happened, even though they agreed to speak to me way back on, I'm just checking the emails for receipts here, 8 days ago on January 25th. On January 25th, the story was already stale. And what was interesting is a lot of it came from, you know, a lot of the conversation, we never got a chance. We never got a chance to have any kind of real communication. And that really is what's a bummer. Now, Frosk did unblock me on Twitter. I think that felt like a sign of things to come. You know, a good faith sign. But then something weird happened. She decided to delete all of her tweets. 45,000 tweets. And essentially, just go back to tweeting about video games. Which is good, by the way. She certainly can tweet about whatever they want. You know, certainly. But a lot, you know, the antagonistic tweets, calling YouTubers drama farmers and all this kind of stuff, it's all gone. And that's good. And look, if you value, if I can ask a favor, please don't interact with her, because I'm going to share with you some more information that I think will explain it. If you want to talk about it, join my Guilded. If you go to my link tree in the description, it's a freer speech alternative to Discord. There's several thousand members already in there. It's obviously free. But talk about it there. Please don't interact with her anymore. Because coincidentally, after a week of negotiating back and forth, I had emailed them yesterday and said, you know, I wanted to follow up on this. I would still like to conduct this interview, but the timeliness is kind of key here. And the whole thing happened over 2 weeks ago. At this point, is she available early this week or not? Essentially saying, like, I'm done. I don't want to do this interview anymore. It was the ultimate fact, the ultimate reason I was getting uninterested in doing the interview is simply because it wasn't interesting anymore. And her representation came back today and shared what was a shockingly predictable response. What I do want to say is what they're saying might be true. There are insane people on the internet. I know it was none of my viewers because they would never do this. But her representation wrote, this whole thing has got a bit personal across the board with multiple threats on her life and aggressive behavior from some people responding to the situation. Once I read that sentence, I knew it was over. I knew it. And like, it's the total Anita Sarkeesian, Zoe Quinn cop-out, isn't it? Do I know? Certainly they didn't. Is it possible somebody said something stupid? Of course. It's possible. They didn't tweet any reference to it. They could have emailed me about it until I was ready to cancel the interview, but I digress. Unfortunately for now, we're going to have to pass on any engagement to let things cool off a bit. I appreciate you reaching out and continuing to be authentic and professional in your approach. Hopefully you understand and maybe we can work some time together in the future. Hard pass. And by the way, I don't blame her agent. I don't blame her agent. All he knows is what he told her. So then I immediately replied within 2 minutes and I wrote, wow, that's shocking to hear. Can you please send me some of these threats? I want to publicly disavow them. I think we all know what was going on there, right? He immediately replies, let me see if I'm at liberty to share. And that was now 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Obviously, I don't believe that she received any kind of credible threats. But what I do believe is that people were mean. And so was she. So when you put that kind of venom out there, people want to spit it back at you. That's like a normal human reaction to that kind of thing. Is it right? Is it okay? I don't know. I'm not in a moral position to really discuss that. I've gotten heated before too. But I think that ultimately, what's really sad here is we lost a chance to really reach across the aisle, and it was potentially because of our own side. Now, was she ever going to really do it? I don't know. It's difficult to know for sure. And then people that always believed she wasn't going to do it are going to be, reinforced. And there will be new people who think she was never going to do it. I happen to believe that she really was going to. I really do. You don't have that many emails back and forth between her agent and stuff like that. I also believe that anyone talking about platforming someone is absurd. Froskurrin has been around in the esports world and the commentary world longer than I have, and has far more brand recognition than I have. So this idea of her clout chasing with me doesn't make any sense. Is anybody in Frosk's audience going to suddenly love my content? No. Is anybody in my audience going to suddenly love her? Probably not. But the discussion would have been important, and it would have been helpful because it would have brought people together and been a great example of how people who disagree can have an adult conversation. We don't need to go any further back than the conversation with Lauren Hisrich, the showrunner of The Witcher. And by the way, her and I are still talking, just not publicly. And I thought that a lot of good came out of that. And I think any chance that you can get to offer somebody a chance to humanize themselves, and me too, obviously, I would have loved to just get her to understand that, painting gamers TM as these creepazoids who don't want to watch it because they're not attracted to her, while also posting fully declothed images of herself on her own Instagram seemed a little hypocritical. I would have loved an opportunity to bring that up, and maybe she wasn't ever going to give me that opportunity. But it doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying to reach across the aisle, so to speak. It doesn't mean I'll turn down a single opportunity in the future to do it, because I've been doing this long enough. Even, for example, if Pokimane would want to talk, or some of these other people that I've had issues with, I would be an absolute coward and hypocrite if I turned that down. Because for years, all of our side has ever said is they won't debate us, they won't talk to us, all they do is block, they don't talk to us. So some will say it was a predictable ending, and perhaps you're right. I think that for me, I was trying to, hang on to a shred of humanity and faith in people. Maybe she really did get some psycho emailing her. I don't know. I didn't see anything like that on Twitter. If I did, I would have publicly disavowed it, just like I'm doing here. I don't hold it against her agent, and I think that let's just move on from her. She's not ready to have the conversation. Maybe she never was, but there are lots of other people that we can talk to, and that's the important thing. G4TV probably will not survive this year. Their growth is completely stopped. They're averaging, losing 100 subscribers a day, 700 a week. Their channel's completely stopped growing. Their Twitch channel is, irrelevant. There are people that, I'm sorry, this is their Twitter feed. They're just going to fade back into obscurity. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't look for other opportunities. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to close the chapter on this. We'll talk to you again real soon.